Now, I'm not here to tell you how to think, I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I do want to say, if you have watched the last 24 hours or 48 hours or whatever it is of WWE television and not enjoyed it just a little bit, I don't know what's going on. NXT whooped some ass. SummerSlam had a load of talking points. As far as I'm concerned, Raw from Monday night was a damn good show. That doesn't mean it was perfect, because nothing is perfect. But I tell you this, for the first time in a long while, those 3 hours just flew by like an aeroplane jetting off to a lovely holiday destination. My name is Simon Miller, this is What Culture, and I'm in the mood to up some downs. Now, I get we're in New York and the crowd skews a certain way, but there ain't no two ways about it in my mind. Roman Reigns came out to kick off Raw and he got a superstar reaction. It's getting enough. It was like a wall of noise, even if a lot of that noise was people booing him and telling him that he still sucks, but I don't care. Because when it's this electric, it gets me excited and I enjoy things a whole lot more. So I'm just going to say this. If you go into a WWE event in the future and you can't stand Roman Reigns, if you could boo him this aggressively, that works for me just fine. I thought Reigns held his own here and he responded to the crowd very well. And it was just nice to see the Universal Championship on Raw. And also, Roman was like, look, it's been away far too long. We got to get back to business here. And that's why I'm going to defend this title this evening against a man who deserves a shot. And he never got it. He never got his rematch. It's Finn Balor. So that little info nugget was finally addressed. And then Finn Balor came out and he's just a man again. And he's no longer the demon. Imagine you started watching WWE on Friday. You're gonna be so confused. Balor was in the ring to accept the match with Roman, which apparently you can now just do with a handshake. That's what they were gonna do. Why do we have contract signings? We could just have like handshake moments, which doesn't sound as good, admittedly. But Baron Corbin then stormed out and he was like, look, this ain't happening. You don't get a title match, Finn Balor, after what you did to me at SummerSlam. I was expecting the human version of you, and instead I got the non-human version of you. Now, I actually thought Baron Corbin was quite good here, but some of the things that he said were proper crazy. He did do his job so well, though, that when Reigns threw some barbs in his direction, Roman got cheered and Baron Corbin got booed anymore. And you can't argue with that. Well, you can argue with that, but it still happened. We hadn't had enough people's entrance music throughout the start of Raw, so then Kurt Angle came out, but it was still good because he got a great reaction as well. And he was like, shut up, Baron. I'm the real person in charge here. And we are indeed going to have Roman Reigns versus Finn Balor for the Universal Championship in our main event. That was a big tick. He also wanted to put the Constable in a scrap of his own, and then he brought out Bobby Lashley. And that was a bit like, okay, I don't necessarily want to see Bobby Lashley versus Baron Corbin, but other than that, thumbs up. And yeah, putting Lashley and Corbin in this spot did pop the bubble just a little bit, but it was fine. It did what it had to do. It's gonna get enough. Eventually ended with victory for Lashley after he hit the Dominator onto Corbin, and this happened because it was gonna start a show-long story about the general manager role. Also though, the hell is going on with Bobby Lashley? He didn't do nothing at SummerSlam, didn't come out and confront Elias. What's his feud? What the hell? He's Bobby Lashley. He's really good. Do something with him. You brought him back at Mania, and now he's just flagging. It's ridiculous. After Baron had lost too, he found Kurt Angle, told him he was sick of his shenanigans, put the blame onto the Olympic gold medalist, and said that Stephanie McMahon was here this evening, and he was going to go find her to tell him off. Uh-oh. We also had another bit with Paul Heyman and Kurt Angle. Paul Heyman was trying to convince the general manager that Brock Lesnar wants to have his rematch at Hell in a Cell, and Kurt just went, nope, that ain't gonna happen for a very long time. And yeah, we know that, because Brock is going back to UFC. So that's obvious. Then there was a 6-woman tag match featuring Sasha Banks, Bayley and Ember Moon taking on the Riot Squad. Down. If you're again wondering why my voice has dropped and all emotion has left my body, please do watch older episodes of Ups and Downs or know I have stopped caring about Sasha Banks and Bayley ever since WWE decided to turn them and unturn them as if I wasn't watching the television program known as Monday Night Raw. Therefore, I will not have my feelings hurt again. But Ruby Riott did win after she hit Sasha Banks with the Riot Kick. However, a quick mention for the dude that audibly got caught on camera shouting, yeah, women's wrestling. That was quite funny. We had a Triple H promo after this, and while it was very good, it was also a little bit odd, but whatever up. The main reason for this is because that big Australia show is happening soon, so the game was sent out there to promote his match with The Undertaker. And I was like, A, we're in August, B, that show ain't till like October, and C, Why are we doing it now? This also did feel really disjointed given that last time we saw Trips on TV, he was a bad guy, but now he's a good guy, but whatever. He's going to fight The Undertaker down over. It's going to be really good. And he was being all whimsical about that end of an era match he had with the Dead Man at WrestleMania a few years ago. And that was an awesome moment. So it was just nice. It was just nice, especially for old fans like me. You know, just reminded you of where we've been, where we're coming from, where we're going. I mean, death is the end. But let's not be morbid, it's ups and downs. What are you talking about? Calm down, jeez. It worked though, nothing wrong with that. And of course, Triple H comes across like a star, and he got a big old reaction. Just came out of nowhere, but hey, this is happening, and I bet it will be really fun. Dean Ambrose against Dolph Ziggler was next, and this was basically the reverse of everything we did at SummerSlam. Up. Much like 24 hours prior to this, Drew McIntyre was making his presence known outside of the ring, but now it was up to Seth Rollins to stop him, which he did, including a really good bit where he ran in the ring and you were like, why has Rollins got in the ring? And then he just hurled himself out the other side. I like that a lot. Dolph and Dean also had some decent wrestling, especially the ending where Dean Ambrose basically hurled Dolph Ziggler into the air, and when he landed, he hit the Dirty Deeds for the win. Fabu. I think I also know where Drew and Dolph are headed now after this episode of Raw, but we'll get to that later because it all ties in. Quick backstage skit with Braun Strowman as well, getting in Finn Balor's face and reminding him, hey pal, if you do manage to beat Roman Reigns, don't forget, I'm coming to whoop some ass because I'm not a coward and I do things face to face. Give it up. Elias decided he would say hello afterwards, and I tell you this, I just love everything this man does, even if his SummerSlam appearance was a bit meh, but up. The highlight was when he told the crowd the doctor had warned him against performing in Brooklyn because it would be bad for his health, but he was going to do it anyway, until my man, my hero, my secret dream, Kurt Hawkins interrupted him. Now, in case you don't know, I like Kurt Hawkins a lot, and I even think he makes his losing gimmick work, because that's just what he does. And I know I'm fond of him, because when I see him, I smile, and that's what happens when you're happy. In case you don't know how your face works, when you're happy and you feel those little twitches around your lip, it's you reacting to what you're seeing, and that means it's good. The reason he was here was to challenge to Elias to a match because he's from New York, and he ain't gonna listen to the former Drifter talk this shit anymore. Unfortunately, he then got in the ring and he lost in around about 2 minutes, which brings his losing streak to 219. That's bad. Then the Authors of Pain just beat Titus Worldwide. And I don't know, you tell me. I feel like I get into a time machine every week and the same thing just keeps happening over and over, but no one will give me a reason as to why. Down. There was also some hints that maybe, just maybe, Dana Brooke and Apollo Crews are doing things without telling Titus O'Neil, so I guess we're about to have the narrative or the fall of Titus Worldwide. And I'm really looking forward to that. Then it was time to capitalise on everything with Ronda Rousey. And you know what? I don't know how I feel about it. I feel a little bit torn. So let's just go through it and see where we end up. Like a roller coaster, which maybe has a part of the track missing. And you think, shit. All the women on the Raw roster surrounded the ring, including the Bella Twins, who are just back now. They reappeared like magic. And then Stephanie McMahon came out to take credit for everything that Ronda Rousey had done at SummerSlam, including winning the Women's Championship. Now, I wouldn't have minded this so much if we had seen Steph a little more before all this, but we didn't, much like Nikki and Brie. She just popped back in too. It confuses me. My brain is confused. With that said, when Ronda did come out, she got right in Stephanie McMahon's face and she just tore her down. And how many times have we said that's what we wanted to see happen? Steph used to go around and yell at people and they'd just cower away, but Ronda Rousey is allowed to go, shut up you, I ain't taking your crap no more, and that's good, the heel getting their comeuppance. Anyway, the point of all of this was basically to end the segment with Ronda Rousey putting Stephanie McMahon into the armbar once again, and I'm sure this is all going to tie into Evolution somehow. And if you are interested, all the good guys cheered and clapped Ronda, and all the bad guys cheered and clapped Stephanie. I think we could have done better with this from continuity reasons, but now I've said everything and I think about it, it did do what we've always asked WWE to do, so that's going to get enough. Also, I think that Ronda is going to do real good. It's just how I feel. Comment section there, tell me I'm wrong. A down for what we did with the tag teams though. So, down. Repeating myself. Basically, Scott Dawson defeated Bo Dallas in a singles match, and then Dash Wilder did exactly the same thing with Curtis Axel, and all of that took around about 5 minutes. I mean, both matches, they're both the tag team champions, both lost in about 5 minutes. Whoop-de-doo! Pointless. But I will say, the B Team's music, which I never mention, and I should mention, is so ridiculous, but I love it. Backstage promo with Reigns followed, and I don't think this was necessary. Down. I'm being harsh here, but he just repeated everything that he said, and yes, later on, he's going to beat Finn Balor and send him to the back of the line. I know that, Roman. You spent 5 minutes at the start of the show telling me. You don't need to tell me again. Then Kurt Angle got fired as the Raw general manager. Can you believe it? But you have to figure this is tying into something bigger with Angle, and that excited me. And of course, Stephanie blamed Kurt for everything that happened with Ronda Rousey, even though he wasn't there, and that's why he got the boot pull out the door. That was me kicking my leg, but it didn't show on the camera. I was booting, figuratively, Kurt Angle out of my fictional door. He's going to take an extended vacation, and Baron Corbin is now in charge. Now that worries me, because the last thing we need is more heel authority figures. But let's see what happens. And then it was our main event, and as I said at the start of Ups and Downs, this episode of Raw flew by, and I liked that. Now, not only was the match absolutely brilliant, especially as the fans kept buying all of the near falls, and I think at one point they were like, oh my gosh, Finn Balor's going to win the Universal Championship. Before this fight was even over, Braun Strowman's music hit, and he came out with his briefcase to go, ha ha ha, it's cashing in time, losers. That was more smart booking by the WWE because the audience was already invested, even though throughout this carnage, Roman Reigns did hit a spear, and he retained his title. But no one was bothered because it doesn't matter. Braun is here, and he's going to try and win. So you've got to hand it to Vince McMahon. Between this and SummerSlam, it's all been pretty good. Strowman even went as far as to cash the damn thing in, but the bell never rang, and now all of a sudden there's this new rule within the WWE that unless the bell rings, it doesn't count. Now that's a little bit stupid, but I'm fine. Whatever, you do what you want. This is your company. This is still a lot of fun. And why didn't the bell ring, I hear you ask, dear Ups and Downs viewer? Well, because the Shield's music hit, and Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins came out to protect their brother-in-arms. A few things first. Yes, it is ridiculous to think that Ambrose and Rollins actually went backstage and got changed into their Shield gear like they're doing some kind of cosplay. And also, it doubly sucks that Roman Reigns kept the Shield music, because when you hear that, you can't pop as loud as you want to pop, because we hear it every damn week. I also saw a lot of people saying they didn't like this and it was a bad move by WWE. But I don't agree. When we reformed the group at the end of last year or whenever it was, the only reason it stopped so abruptly is because they all went and got injured, so now they're all back healthy. Why not do it? And it tells a really interesting story. We all love Braun Strowman, but we also all love the Shield. And apart from Roman Reigns, boo Roman Reigns, he sucks, let's go get him with pitchforks. But if you're going to have a 3-on-1 attack, really, that makes the Shield the heels. And I'm alright with this because it makes things feel fresh and it makes things feel interesting, and I'm intrigued. I want to see what's going to happen on next week's show now, and if you do that, you've done something absolutely right. That is the whole point of television. I mean, are they actually going to try and turn the trio heel? Is Braun Strowman going to be the bad guy? Or is it a case of, just let the fans do whatever they want and we can take it from there? And going back to what I said about Drew and Dolph earlier, maybe you could have McIntyre, Ziggler and Braun going against the Shield. I mean, I don't know how you feel about that, but I'd certainly like to see what WWE could do with it. Opportunities here, people. Opportunities. All in all, a great follow-up to SummerSlam, if you ask me, which you didn't, because this is just me recording it into a camera. And if I could hear your voice, I'd freaked out, because clearly I'm going crazy like Randy Orton. And there's loads to talk about and plenty of storylines to see us through into Hell in a Cell and maybe even to the end of the year. I ain't got no problem with that. I ain't going to get mad at that. Right now, I'm not going to lie, I'm really enjoying WWE. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you thought about last night's Raw. Like, share and subscribe. Head on over to WhatCulture.com and read yourself some articles, and follow What Culture on Twitter at WhatCultureWW, and follow all the What Culture guys. We're all on there. Of course we are. It's 2018. Who isn't on Twitter? Smart people. Smart people. That's the right answer. Smart people aren't on Twitter. My name is Simon Miller. This has been What Culture's Ups and Downs, and I'm going to see you tomorrow because SmackDown's here, and there's loads we can do on that as well. I'm so excited. I'm so positive. I'm so happy. I love wrestling. See you soon.